This video is about when you should fertilize your spruces. In general, when you have evergreens, you should figure out what kind of evergreen it is first before you fertilize, whether it's indeterminate or determinate. What that means is the amount of growth it has per year, whether it's determined by last year's season or whether it's not determined by last year's season. And that all boils down to whether the plant has buds or not. If you look at pines and spruces, they have buds, so they are considered to be determinate. And in those buds, they have pre-formed cells, such as needles, internodal parts, that are formed from last year. And if you look at arborvitaes, junipers, and cedars, they do not have buds, they have growing points, so they're indeterminate. So when you fertilize, you should determine what kind of plant it is and then act accordingly. If it's indeterminate, it does not matter when you really put fertilizer down, as long as you keep the plant healthy throughout the year. Whenever it's easy, you can put it down, you can, or if you don't want to, it's not a big deal. The indeterminate ones are very easy to do. Now, if you're doing determinate plants, you really should try to keep your fertilizer on the plants when it's developing its bud. When it develops its buds primarily in the fall. So fertilizing evergreens that are determinate, like pines and spruces, try to put the fertilizer down in the fall, because that's when the buds are forming, and those buds are forming the leaf parts for next year. Now in the springtime, it does not mean that you don't fertilize determinate trees in the spring. It just means that when you fertilize in the spring, you're fertilizing for color. So it's a little bit. Now if you're looking back, I mean, it's March 10th, and each year we got a couple people asking about whether you can fertilize now or not. It all depends on where you are and what kind of soils that you have. But for us, you can still see we still have snow down on the ground, and we still have frozen dirt underneath of it. And you put fertilizer down, when the snow melts, it's just going to carry the fertilizer away. We have to wait for the snow to melt and completely leave, and for the ground to defrost, and then that way that when you put the fertilizer down, it can infiltrate into the soil and the roots can absorb it. So right now is not the right time of year to be fertilizing anything.
At Highland Hill Farm, we raise over 200 different kinds of trees and shrubs, and we can ship as well as we can deliver and plant from many different places. We have locations in Fountainville, PA, Lenoir, North Carolina, and McMinnville, Tennessee. So call us at 215-651-8329 for all your tree and shrub needs. Thank you.